We are live now, sir. Sir, shall I start the program with a small introduction? Welcome address, sir.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good evening to all the participants. And it's a time to give a small welcome address by myself. The warm welcome to all the participants, and also I welcome our college principal in short, Dr. D. Venkateswaran sir, and vice principal Dr. K. Sivaramurthy sir, and all the faculty members and the students of natureclub of Rajapalayam Rajus College, and the management too, who supported a lot to do such a program continuously. I welcome you all. And also it's a time to intro our chief guest, Chaturved Shet sir. It's a small introduction about him. Chaturved sir is an NGO, Harris Arbor Science Foundation, HRBSF BAML layout Aranagar, Bengaluru, and he is also co-founder and a scientist. And also currently he is a research associate in EMPRI and a researcher and a co-founder of HRBSF. It's a project survey of entomofauna of Sandur Taluk, Bellary district, environmental carrying capacity of Udupi Taluk, butterfly and moth diversity of Bangalore urban district, ordinate fauna of Bangalore and Mysore region, butterflies, moth and ordinate diversity of Udupi district, and entomofauna of Kaveri River Basin region, Kodagu district, butterfly abundance and species richness of Western Ghats region of Karnataka and Goa. And the award received Satyadiri Ecologist Award 2018 for research paper on butterflies of Shobhavana Campus, Mijor, Modbidri at International Lake Conference 2018, jointly organized by Alwas Education Foundation, Modbidri and EWRG CES IISc Bangalore. And the book
So your voice got muted.
of Shobhavana Campus, Mijor, and also butterflies of Bangalore urban district. The work experience of a resource person, curator for a private farm, Unigal Taluk, Tumugu district in developing an indigenous butterfly garden. Advisor for Alwas Education Foundation in creating a campus butterfly garden at Shobhavana Campus, Mijori, Karnataka district, Karnataka. Consultant for a Joida Butterfly Park and Tree Park at Uttara Karnataka district. And also serving as a resource person in the project to document biodiversity of Kaveri River Basin. Served as organizing committee member in the Lake 2020 International Lake Symposium organized by EWRGCES, Bangalore. And also served as a butterfly expert for Agastya International Science Foundation, Kuppam district, Andhra Pradesh, to design and develop an open butterfly garden. And also resource person for Mysore Science Foundation for selected school students and general public from Mysore 2016. And serving as the advisor for several science forums, nurture camps, and summer camps for different schools and colleges. Resource person at several workshops, training programs, and seminars. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the opportunity, and I thank management, principal sir, vice principal sir for this opportunity, and thank you for coordinating me and inviting me. And let's begin our session.
Okay.
Hope slide is visible.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay. Good evening, all. As we know, we are celebrating World Wetland Day in the month of February first week, and February 2nd is known as Wetland Day. And as part of Wetland Day, we are organizing a small talk on importance, benefits, types, conservation strategies for conserving wetlands and wetland associated species. First, what is the meaning of wetland? Wetlands are those areas where water is primary factor and which is controlling the environment and other associate plant and animal life. They also occur where water table is at near the surface of the land or where the land is covered by water. In this background, you can see a wetland which I had clicked in Gujarat state. Next, there are different types of wetlands in India. Majorly, first is like swamps. Next is estuaries, marshes were dominated by trees. River floodplains are there. Oxbow lakes are there, and normal lakes are there, and also artificial lakes or tanks, which comes under human-made wetlands category. Next, I would like to share few wetland facts. Globally, there are 2,424 Ramsar sites in the world, covering an area of 25 crores 46 lakh 3,549 hectares. In India, we have 49 Ramsar sites, which is the highest in South Asia, which covers 10 lakh 93,636 hectares. I would like to mention few very specific and special wetland ecosystem in our country. The first and foremost, I would like to share about few facts about the Kaibul-Lamjau National Park. It is the only floating national park in the globe, which has Loktak Lake as a major water source, which is the largest natural freshwater lake system in the eastern India. And Kaibul Lamjau National Park is the only place where we can see Shanghai, also called as Manipur Bro Antler Deer, which is a state animal of Manipur. And this is endangered. The population of Bro Antler Deer or Shanghai is decreasing drastically because of habitat change and other anthropogenic factors. Next, Kanwar Lake Bird Sanctuary, which is in Bihar state. This is Oxbow Lake. You can see how the oxbow means. The shape of this lake is like oxbow, and this is the largest and widest in entire Asia. Next, what are the values and benefits of wetlands? Wetlands are source of water, we know. They also regulate in flood controlling and storm buffers. They have good products like fish and other aquatic plants. They also purify waters. Wetlands are recreation and tourism. As I mentioned in two previous slides, you can see Kanwar Lake and Kaibul Lamjau National Park, which are very good tourist hotspots. And wetlands for education and research. Most of our research is on the banks of water bodies, might be for drinking purpose, for other studying other parameters or any other chemical parameters. And also they help in climate change also. Wetlands are studied for different climate change perspective, and wetlands as habitats for migratory birds. In India, if you observe, majority of bird sanctuaries are near the water bodies or on the lakes or wetland ecosystem. They act as stopover grounds for long distance migratory birds. In India, we can see lots of winter visitors migrating from Eurasian region, Siberia, Russia, from those parts to escape the harsh winters. And few wetlands as biodiversity hotspots. And these are the different values and benefits of wetlands and functions also. There are few specific group of organisms which acts as indicators of wetlands. If we study few specific birds or bird group, we can know how healthy is that a wetland. These are painted storks and Asian open-bill storks, what we see in this picture. And this photo was shot in Ranganthittu Bird Sanctuary, which is like largest bird sanctuary and the first bird sanctuary in Karnataka state. Next, even few marsh crocodiles are also a flagship species in wetland ecosystem. Crocodiles are also studied as indicator species of wetland ecosystem. There is a particular place called Charota region in Gujarat where several wetland and lakes are there where crocodiles dominate those lakes and they are like flagship species. And also we can speak about different Chilka Lake, where which has the only lagoon in the world to have Irrawaddy dolphins. And also we have different Ganges, where we have critically endangered gharial crocodiles. So there are different crocodiles, birds, and organisms, species which are studied as biologically indicators of wetland ecosystems. One such group of insects which are well studied but lesser known is odonates. Odonates means toothed one. From the Latin, odon means tooth. So odonata is like toothed one. Because these dragonflies and damselflies have teeth in their mandible region. That's why the name odonata. Few facts about insects I would like to state. Over 90% of animal life is formed of insects on the earth. There are more than 50 lakh plus described species, and insects are the most diverse group of animals, and they are the only invertebrate creatures that are able to fly. Rest all whatever we see flying ones are birds, a different group, and the bats, which are the only true flying mammals. Next, how can we define an insect as an insect? The word insectum is derived from Latin word which means cut into section. You would be knowing dissection where you cut, but here it is like insection. That is why insectum. Head, thorax, and abdomen are three major body parts of insects, and all insects will have six legs, two compound eyes, and one pair of antennae. And if they are flying insects, they'll be having two pair of wings. Next, this is the classification. All insects belong to kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda. Arthro means jointed, poda means feet. And class Insecta or Hexapoda. As I said, hexa means six, poda means feet. So all insects have six legs. Some might be modified, like only four legs might be seen in majority of insects, but all insects will have six legs. And dragonflies and damselflies belong to order Odonata. When you have close look up dragonfly and damselfly, there are two suborders, Anisoptera. Iso means equal, even. Uniso means uneven. So if you see closely, dragonfly wings are not equal. The first pair of wings and second pair of wings are not equal size. They are uneven in size. Whereas in damselflies, zygo means straight. So zygotera means wings. And most of the dragonflies spread their wings during the resting, whereas almost all damselflies, except few spread wings, they close their wings backside. And damselflies have slender body, whereas dragonflies have robust, thick body. And for dragonflies, 90% of the head region is covered by eyes. You can see two compound eyes here. Whereas for damselfly also, in between we can see three simple eyes. One, two, three. These are the simple eyes. Apart from two compound eyes, the order Odonata has three simple eyes for both dragonflies and damselflies. And you can see how complicated the eye structure, how robust and how large it is. Dragonflies are one of the ancient insects which have mastered in flying. Let's see life cycle of a dragonfly. It starts with adult laying eggs. From egg there's a larva molts and the adult emerges. So life history of dragonflies and damselflies. The larvae are like aquatic or semi-aquatic, and which is completely dependent on water bodies and wetland ecosystem. Lifestyle. Nymph of dragonflies and damselflies are carnivore, predatory, preying on other smaller organisms, might be fishes or aquatic insects or other aquatic organisms. And once the larva molds its skins several times, then the adult emerges out. And this is a process where adult is emerging out from its nymphal case. Once they emerge out, they are true flying insects and born carnivore, which means odonates dependent on other smaller flying insects. The ratio of odonates presence is directly dependent on the ratio of prey species or the food availability in the region. And all odonates have very good role in food web, food chain. You can see different organisms are feeding on odonates. It might be spiders or a bee eater or some chameleons, lizards. They all feed on odonates. And especially few birds, for example, this green beater birds are masters in hunting odonates. And majority of the spiders in India, say for example 99% of spiders are insectivore, which means they want insects as their prey. Only few species, like probably few tarantulas which are larger in size, can feed on other organisms like lizards. Next, observing odonates. We discussed how important are they, why we need to observe. I see lots of students or researchers give this kind of reaction. Studying odonates is very easy. All what you need to do is you should have keen eyes to observe small things in nature and also broad mind to conserve these small organisms. Once you start observing, you will enjoy watching odonates. Globally, there are 6,000 plus described species, and India alone has 500 plus species. Western Ghats has 194 species, Karnataka, which has 90. This is my documentation and my studies with respect to odonates. And the Bangalore city where I'm living, I've documented close to 50 species. In your area, it's a question mark. From today, you just start observing odonates which are flying close to gardens or forests, marsh areas, or some water bodies or park nearby your school or college or where you stay. These are few common species of odonates which are seen, and here I'm showing few dragonflies and damselflies which are easy to capture and see in Karnataka state. Common picture wing. All these odonates are colorful. Their wings are also have colorful patches, but when they are flying, it becomes transparent. So that smaller organisms cannot make out them very easily when they are flying. We have different stream glories, forest glories. Here you can see black tipped forest glory. At the tip of wings of this damselfly, there's a black patch, hence the common name. In this glory, they don't have any black tip, hence it is clear wing forest glory. These are bright, brilliant colored odonates, which is like radium. Hence, it's like glory. The meaning glory means they are very radium and bright and colored. Few which are very common in Bangalore city. Amidst the Bengaluru city, which is the fastest growing city in Karnataka state, also in South India, has few water bodies where we can see odonates. And as I said, all damselflies close their wings, but this particular family, spread wings, we say, emerald stripe, emerald spread wing, where you can see emerald color stripes on their body, and the wings are spread. This is a damselfly because the wings are spread and they have green radium stripe. The common name is emerald spread wing. And you can see club tail. At the tip, the tail is clubbed or bulged, we can see. And different odonates are also colorful. After our butterflies and moths, which are very colorful day flying insects, even odonates are also day flying and they are also equally colorful. And this is how the wing pattern is. Each wing has some different patches and also these tips, these black spots helps them in balancing. And you can see in few species, males and females are identical, In few, it is very difficult to make out. Again, like birds and other insects, males are also brightly colored, bluish, you can see, and whereas females are dull colored, like yellowish. What are the things we required for documenting? There are few field guides available and manuals which you can refer. And if you see any dead ones, you can collect. No need to catch or harm unless you are doing scientific study for your master or PhD dissertation. Next, camera. We all live in era of smartphones. You can use your smartphones to click coordinates for reference shots, and it's very easy. You all can become a researcher just by searching for lives while you do a research. Documentation format for any biodiversity studies: date, time, location, weather condition are very important. And next, common name, family, individual count if you are looking at population dynamics, species richness, and individual count you can note down, and activity also you can note down, and the characteristics, as I said, wing color, it had pink shade or completely blue shade, yellow body. Those characteristics what you observe in field can be noted down. I would like to mention this special bird, which is like bird of prey, we say amur falcon. Survival for amur falcon means traveling 22,000 plus kilometers, crossing like two continents, and they also cross several water bodies. And these Amur falcons migrate from no other region, from southeast and to other region. They cross Indian Ocean and reach African breeding grounds. During this great bird migration, which is like the largest bird migration in birds of prey category, Amur falcon, they also stop over close to Indian Ocean region, and also we can see in Manipur and Nagaland, northeast region in a good number where they stop over. Exactly during these birds migration, our odonate also migrates. This odonate or dragonfly is called as globe skimmer because they also travel more than 18,000, which is the longest migration by an insect. Holds record for this wandering glider because they keep wandering. They are very common in our region. They are seen throughout the India in different parts, and these insect also migrate. Look, the interesting fact, these odonates have a vital role by feeding Amur falcon. They need to go from India to African region, crossing this Indian Ocean. In the same way, even our odonates are migrating. This particular species, wandering glider, also migrates during the same season where Amur falcon is migrating, and they also cross over Indian Ocean. Perhaps the only insect to cross oceans and fly and to have a longest distance in migration. There are few other butterflies also which are known for migration. For example, monarch butterflies, which migrates like 3,000, 4,000 kilometers. But this odonate is known to migrate approximately like 18,000 kilometers, which holds as the longest migrating insect. If these odonates are not there in that migration time, Amur falcons have to undergo food scarcity or challenges to keep their body filled. Such a small insect feeding large amount of birds of prey and also other insects. Hence, odonates are one of the few insects which are studied as wetland indicators and biological indicating insects. In India, conservation is very much required but also very difficult if you look at the angle. But simple step, your observation, documentation will lead to conservation. All what we need to do, we should have a keen eyes to observe small things in nature. Start watching might be a bird or a butterfly or a odonate or a spider. There are different indicating species around us. No need to go forest or any safaris or bird sanctuaries or national parks. Start visiting your nearby lakes, parks, lawns, gardens, or stand in terrace and start observing common birds what you see. Few insects will be flying around your terrace. There is one particular species, we call it as granite ghost, which you can see on your terrace or rocks, hence the common name granite ghost. Even if you go on your terrace, you can see this odonate sticking to our walls. Why insects are very important? There are few pollinating insects. Our greatest scientist, physics expert, and mathematician has told if bees disappear from the surface of the earth, man would have no more than 4 years to live. Because honeybees and butterflies are very good pollinators. 70% of food what we eat are pollinated by insects. That means if insects are not there, pollinators are not there, we will not have more than 4 years. We don't get pollinated flowers, fruits, trees. Next, as I've explained in earlier slides, all insects have very good role in food chain or food web, including our odonates. They're born carnivore, so larvae feed on other smaller aquatic insects, and adult odonates feed majorly on mosquitoes and other smaller insects. So they also maintain food chain, food web, and there are birds specialized in hunting odonates as bee eaters, amur falcons, etc. And they also indicate good ecosystem, especially different insects are studied as different indicators. For example, if you study a butterfly, it indicates there are few flowering plants, host plants around the garden. Healthy and organic gardens or ecosystem. Odonates show there are good freshwater bodies, freshwater ecosystems, and mosquitoes show there is a contamination, there is a polluted water body nearby. Different insects are studied as indicating species, and odonates also make one of the interesting group of insects to study different freshwater ecosystem. Next, odonates and wetland association. As I said, if there are no water bodies, there are no odonates because a larval stage is completely aquatic. They need water body to complete its life cycle. Hence, there's a good relationship, understanding between our odonates and wetland ecosystem. That is why the title what I chose was Wonderful Wings and Wetlands. Here, wonderful wings are our odonates and our wetland ecosystem. Different technologies have been adopted looking after odonates. You can see here there are different robotics, skeeters, small scale, sensors, warfighters have been designed. The concept of helicopter is been inspired, admired looking at our dragonfly, such a small insect with huge contribution. Not only insects are ecologically important, but also technologically they are very significant. And different ornaments are designed looking at our beautiful odonates. Imagine if these ornaments or designs were not there, where would our models would go? And these are few very less literatures available with respect to odonates. The first and premier study by Professor K. Subramanian has led to a Dragonflies of India field guide, and also there is one Dragonfly and Damselflies of Delhi book is there, and also Atlas of Odonata Insecta of Western Ghats, again published by K. Subramanian. These are only few available field guides and literatures. There are different citizen science forum and also different research papers you can search with respect to odonates. I wish you all a very happy and safe odonate watching. Start observing odonates or any insects nearby you, try to conserve them. Your observation will lead to documentation. Good biodiversity documentation will definitely lead to a conservation. I've shared my email ID here. If any students have difficulties in identification of odonates, a butterfly or moth, you can always email me. Or if you have any project confusion, you can contact me or Ramji sir for any help anytime. I thank the organizers, Raju's College, for this invitation and giving me a chance to explain few facts about wetlands, odonates on account of World Wetland Day celebration, which happened on February 2nd. And this year's theme is also wetlands action for people and nature. So start observing insects, start conserving, and each and every organism in nature matters. I wish you all the best. Thanks, Ramji sir, again for this wonderful opportunity. I also would like to thank management, especially principal sir, vice principal sir of the college for inviting me. Thank you very much. And any doubts you can post, and we'll take the question and answers.
Thank you so much, sir, for given such a excellent presentation, sir, regarding the waternet arts. That we
Thank
have
you, sir.
learned a lot up to date till now. Before your presentation, including myself, I can't focus on waternet. Just focus
Okay.
on moths and butterflies. These are the things the many people haven't took research, and they are submitting their research, and also many NGOs are doing frequent surveys every year. Because now also I think GBBS is going to held on February 18th. We are going to do in
Correct.
our campus also.
True, sir.
Last year also we have done a GBBS count 2021 and
Nice.
we got the third place in Tamil Nadu in campus after IIT.
Very nice, sir. Very nice to hear that.
Likewise, it's my wish the person like you can motivate like GBBS and the butterfly count. You people can do and you can create awareness. We also to participate in that, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Definitely, we will have a future association and we'll work on this
Yes, sir.
lesser
Yes, sir.
studied insects group.
We need, sir. Surely we need. We don't know the importance of water needs. We are giving importance to mosquitoes also, but so far we are not not given much importance to water needs, sir. We can learn a lot. Really, as for me, and also I think our participants also enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much, sir. Can we go on for question session now, sir?
Yes, thank you, sir. We can take up questions now.
The first question is myself, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
I think it's been displayed.
Okay. How quickly do dragonflies get their adult color? The moment adult emerges out, they have their colors. Because it will be wet, they'll just dry. So immediately the color and the pigment will be seen on the odonates as an adult.
Sure, sir. Shall we wait for
Yes.
1 minute, sir? Maybe our participants can.
Definitely, definitely.
My dear participants, if you have any queries, you can text in our chat box. It's been displayed to our resource person.
Yes. Any questions, audience, students? You may please post it. I'll be happy
I
to
think
take
this.
few questions.
And also at what time we can have a survey of water needs.
Okay.
And
As I said,
do we
odonates
need
are carnivore.
yes,
Immediately after sunrise, perhaps after like 15 to 30 minutes, immediately after sunrise, few insects will also be active. And that time our odonates will also be active, hunting and preying on smaller insects. So morning 7 to 11 is ideal time, sir. And evening
ideal
again 4
time.
to 6. Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, which month, sir? Which month? Is there any specific month like Pungal Bird Count and also GBBS are conducting February, the Great Bird Count.
Different species of odonates are seen in different months, seasons. So odonates can be watched throughout the year, but the great migration happens during the post monsoon season.
Okay.
So that is the right time to observe in huge swarms of this migration. If not, odonates are seen throughout the year. So different species are active in different intervals. Throughout the year, you can watch odonates.
Okay. So another question from Abhishek Singh.
Abhishek Singh, okay.
I think best.
Best reproduction time in odonates. Again, it's a monsoon season, as I said.
Another one question from myself, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
Sir, not is I think it's not a question. It's a kind request. From this year, it's my request to start the coordinate survey, sir. And we
Definitely,
will support
definitely.
too, sir. We will support too, sir. And
Definitely,
also
sir.
it creates
Very
inspiration to our students. And even though if you have from your organization that you are a co-founder of
associated.
organization, from this
True, true.
association, from this organization, you can conduct one certificate program on one,
Definitely,
and we
sir.
can have some syllabus, and also our students can participate, and we have online exams too. After
Definitely, sir.
conducting online exams also, you can give a certificate also, sir.
Sure, sir. I would, consider your words, and definitely we'll work on it, and we can have a sessions and certificate course on insect watching program or biodiversity documentation exclusively on odonates.
Sir, another question from Surjit Bhattacharya.
Okay. Sir, is it true that some butterflies are transparent? Yes, there are few butterflies. The wings are only transparent. When they are flying, we cannot be make out easily. That's it. So there are few butterflies and other insects. While flying, they seem to be very transparent. Okay. How many eggs they lay at once? Probably in clutches, like minimum of 6, 12, 18, 20. It depends on the species. A size of a female matters here. So smaller the species, lesser the eggs, and larger the species, they lay more eggs. And also depends where they are going to lay eggs. So on an average, like minimum of 6 to 20, 30, it depends. Surjit has one more question, and that their color are only the light they reflect from sunlight. Yes, all insects are cold-blooded, hence they're completely dependent on sunlight for regulating their body temperature, and they need sunlight. And their wings also reflect. That is why when they are flying, it is like transparent, so that smaller insects cannot make them easily while they are flying. What is the lifespan of odonates? As I said, I cannot cage or keep an odonate like birds or any crocodiles. So on an average, like 2 months to like 1 year or 2 year. Again, it depends on the species size. So on an average, 2 months to 1 year or 1.5 years. Okay. Das sir is asking, what are the effects of growing GM crops on butterfly? Indirect or direct effect is like not to use any pesticides or insecticides. No matter you grow GM crops for your own economical benefits, but while farming, practicing agriculture, you're not supposed to use any pesticides, insecticides, or chemical fertilizers, because butterflies are completely dependent on host plants and they indicate organic and healthy ecosystem. So if you are not using any chemical pesticides, it is like okay, no problem with what crop you grow. Abhishek is asking, sir, are odonates are bioindicators? Yes, definitely, odonates are very good biological indicators. As I said, different insects are studied as indicating species. Odonates are known as or studied as wetland indicators. What is the breeding season of odonates? Different species are active in different intervals. So throughout the year, it is like different species will be mating and breeding. If I say which month, probably before monsoon, like May or immediately after first rains or second rain, June. In this month, you can see lots of species mating.
Sir, I think from this we can go for conclude, sir.
Yes, once again, thank you, sir, for this opportunity. I thank all the management and
Sir,
committee
really, you
and
have given opportunity for us, sir.
organizer for this session. And thank you, audience, for your patient hearing. Thank you so much.
Sir, last question, I think, Pravan MK. Our
Our
ordinates
odonates have
have,
host plant relationship. Technically, no, because odonates are wetland. They're dependent on water bodies to complete their life cycle. Butterflies and moths have specific host plants. Hence, butterflies and moths are more dependent on host plants. As of now, there are no such studies, and there is no proof that odonates have any host plant relationship. Probably they rest on plants, and they you can see even in gardens, parks, just to prey on other flying insects, particularly mosquitoes and bugs, beetles. But odonates don't have direct relationship with host plants.
okay, sir, the last question from myself, sir. From
Yes,
this,
sir.
if I will conclude,
I'll
sir.
be happy.
Sir, on what way we can conserve and also we can increase the population of, we also conserve and increase the population of ordinates.
Good question, sir. You can create small water bodies, artificial water bodies, which acts as a breeding and feeding ground for odonates. From a small pond, or wherever the open space is there, you can create a small water body. We can create pond ecosystem, and we can observe entire life cycle of an odonate, document and other species which is directly depend, probably a frog or a tadpole or some mosquitoes and some water snakes. So complete, you can develop a odonate ponds, small pond, and you can study entire pond ecosystem. It will be live and healthy, and you can start. So small water bodies, if you create, it acts as like feeding and breeding grounds, because odonates don't have any colonies. They're solitary and they keep flying. So wherever they see a perfect habitat to lay the eggs, they stop over there. And wherever the food is availability, you can see good number of odonates. So small water bodies, if you create artificially and naturally, they give a stepping stone towards attracting, conserving, and documenting odonates.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, it is possible to have a ordinate form in Western Ghats. And our
Definitely,
college is
definitely.
situated, sir. Our college is situated near Western Ghats, sir.
Wow.
It's been near about 10 kilometers only.
Definitely, sir. Perhaps your state, your college will be the first institute to have this kind of like odonate garden or odonate ponds. In Karnataka, we have developed multiple odonate ponds. As I said, in Kungal also we have developed indigenous butterfly park, and also we have created one. It was a natural water body. Now we are taking care. So we have a odonate pond, dragon pond. Even in Western Ghats, Uttar Kannada district, one of our friend, news reporter, has created a dragonfly pond, especially for these odonates. And perhaps you can also create your own dragon ponds. Like you can name it differently. We have named
We are
one
having
as dragon.
we are having pond also, natural pond. We are having natural pond also, sir.
Nice. Perhaps you can start observing different odonates. Who all are
Sure,
the
sir.
visitors? Try to capture their photos. You can post it in iNaturalist also, or you can WhatsApp me or email me, whichever I can identify through species level or genus level. Definitely, I will help you in identification, sir.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, thank you so much, sir. As a vote of thanks
Thank
now.
you so
Sir,
much.
provide my vote of thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, all the participants, for your patient listening. And also, thank you so much, sir, Chaturved, sir. Thank you so much. You are the real eye opener for us regarding the water needs. Thank you so much, sir. You have given such a good information for us. And it been continued, and all the best for you, sir, in future.
Thank you so much. And I would
Thank you so much.
also like to thank Sheikh Hussein, who referred me and
Sure,
who
sir. It is the time
gave
I
us
have
contact
given.
and who introduced me to you, sir. I would like to thank Sheikh Hussein for introducing you and your institute to me. I'm very thankful, and also thankful to the management. Each and every talk I would like to dedicate in memory of my mentor Harish Bhatt sir, and also my mother, who was always supporting. So I would like to thank each and every member and my parents, my mentor, for this opportunity, and organizers also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.